Well, amen. Blessed be God. Today's video, I am going to be reading from 1 Samuel 16. And here lately, the messages have been, obedience is better than sacrifice. Obey God, obey God, obey God. And we have to obey God. It don't matter what we think. It don't matter what the scenario currently looks like. We have to obey God. Because God knows everything. Everything is the Lord's already. So we have to obey God. If God tells you to do something, there's a purpose and a plan in place. So that's why we must obey God. And for God's plan to come into fruition, we have to obey God. Otherwise, it could be an open door, because I'm going to read from right here. I'm 1 Samuel 16, and I'm going to start at verse 12. And this is when David was fixing to anoint someone that God chose. So I'm going to start with verse 12. And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy and withal a beautiful countenance and a goodly to look to. And the Lord said, Arise, anoint him, for this is he. Then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brethren. And the Spirit of the Lord came upon David from that day forward. So Samuel rose up and went to Ramah. But the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Lord troubled him. And Saul's servant said unto him, Behold, now an evil spirit from God troubleth thee. So not only did Saul feel it, but someone else, Saul's servant, saw it. Now, why did God send an evil spirit? Because Saul did not obey God on two occasions. It's 1 Samuel 13, 1 through 14. And then again in 1 Samuel 15, 1 through 35. The most known, I guess, would be over here in chapter 15. And this is bringing up English Standard Version, but I'm just going to go ahead and read it. Verse 1. And Samuel said to Saul, The Lord sent me to anoint you king over his people Israel. Now therefore listen to the words of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I have noted that Amalek did to Israel in opposing them on the way that they came up out of Egypt. Now go and strike Amalek, and devote to destruction all that they have. Do not spare them, but kill both man and woman, child and infant, ox and sheep, camel, and donkey. So Saul summoned the people and numbered them in Timnah, 200,000 men on foot and 10,000 men of Judah. And Saul came to that city of Amalek and lay in wait in the valley. Then Saul said to the Kenites, go down from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with them. For you showed kindness to all the people of Israel when they came up out of Egypt, and to the Kenites departed from you among the Amalekites. Lest I destroy you with them, for you showed kindness to all the people of Israel, and when they came up out of Egypt, so the Kenites departed from among the Amalekites. So right there, Saul disobeyed God because he was supposed to have killed everything, but yet he forewarned the Amalekites to get out of there. So therefore, yes, he did save people, but disobeyed God. So therefore, that's why the disobedience gave an open door for an evil spirit from God. That's why obedience is better than sacrifice. That's why we have to obey God no matter what. Because God is God. It's not just a song. God is God. God's going to do what God's going to do, and you need to obey Him. And obedience is better than sacrifice. God knew that Saul probably wouldn't obey him, but he's supposed to have. That's one of the reasons why God gave us free will. The opportunity to choose to obey God or do our own will and get punished for it. And in these last hours, we can see things happening. We see things happening on a daily basis with the floods and with the wars and rumors of wars and all this things happening and things probably we don't even know of that are actually happening. But yet we still refuse to open our eyes and see that the word is fulfilling on a daily basis. But yet, and we still choose not to do anything about it. But we still have to obey God. We have to open our eyes. We have to heed to the voice of the Lord no matter what. Because obedience, God is God and everything is the Lord's. It's not ours. Nothing is ours. Everything is the Lord's. He created it. So, we just have to obey God. Obey God, obey God, obey God. I'm even telling that to myself. Because we have so much more that needs to be done. And time is quickly ticking away. We need to seize the moment, seize the day, because time always takes. It never gives. So we can't go back to tomorrow. We can't go back to 15 years ago, or whatever the case may be. You know, we have to. Time is always moving forward, and we have to get to the point of obeying God no matter what. Because at the end of the day, we have a birthday, then we have a, if we go by the way of the grave, the day we die. And all we have is that dash in the middle. So what are you going to do with your dash? You know, are you going to advance God's kingdom? Or are you just going to waste it and spend eternity in hell? And then be thrown into the lake of fire? That's something to really think about. That's really something to think about. Trust the Lord. Romans 10:9. Seek the Lord while he may be found.